Hello guys and welcome to the AI Insider, and in today's video we'll reveal the secrets of prompt engineering. And after watching this video you will be the master in prompt engineering in just few minutes. So let's start the video without wasting any much time. Okay, so let me just give you the example that how your prompts are not that much good as you seem. Okay, so let's say you want to know the best restaurant. So what prompt do you write? You write, what is the best restaurant? But in that prompt, there is no context. There is no information. There is no information about where the restaurant is located. You don't know about the theme of the restaurant as well. The ChatGPT or any kind of large language model need to go through all the data about restaurants that he have and give you a very silly or shitty response at the end. So, but if you change your prompt like this, what is the best restaurant in Delhi with the classic theme? So in that way, the Delhi and the classic theme are the context of that prompt. So in that way, the ChatGPT has to look for the restaurants only in Delhi with the classic theme and can give you the best response the ChatGPT can make. And according to this new research paper in the SituatedQA, that shows that 65.5% of natural questions of NQ open dataset shows that you have to give the context to the questions when building your prompt. So personally, I suspect that this percentage would be even higher for a company or organizational use cases. For example, if a company wants to build a chatbot for a customer support, and for this chatbot to answer any kind of customer question about any product, the context needed might be that customer history or the product information. So every time a customer or a client wants to ask something question to the chatbot, they must have to provide the full product information or the customer history. They don't simply ask that please resolve this issue. Yeah, I have this issue, please resolve it. Because in that way, you are not giving the context. You are not saying that this issue is for the which product or which customer or which location. So you are missing the context here. Okay. So let me just give you another example in the way that I am explaining the part that is called context learning, because that's how ChatGPT works. ChatGPT understand your context on the base of the context learning architecture. Okay, so similarly, if you see this diagram on my screen, here it looks that, hi, I want to change the shirt I ordered yesterday from size M to L. Okay, so this is a prompt that I want to use. So what would I do then? I said, hi Sarah, let me look into this for you. This is the ChatGPT response or the chatbot response as well. And then chatbot would give me these kind of responses as per it has the history about me or the product information. Because here I gave him the product information as well. I want to change what? I want to change the shirt from which size, from M to L. So these are the context I have. And in the way it shows me that I found a fancy brand shirt size M in your order. Or it can say, sorry, I can't find any shirt. Okay. Or it can go deep down and say, unfortunately, the order has already been shipped. Would you like to return the M shirt and order the L one again? Okay. So in that way, the ChatGPT can shuffle the responses that it provide to you on the basis of the context that you provide. Because if you provide a complete context in some way, then the ChatGPT will give you the best answers it can possible. Okay. Similarly, let me just talk about something very great about the context learning. That is retrieval augmented generation. So retrieval augmented generation is the principle that is working in the context learning. So it works in the two phases. The first phase is chunking, or also known as indexing. The second phase is querying. So the chunking phase, it will gather all the documents you want your large language model to use. Okay. and then it divide these documents into the chunks that fed to your large language model or chat GPT to generate the embeddings, and those embeddings are then stored into the vector databases. Okay. And after that, the querying phase begins. So whenever a user sends a query like, does my insurance policy pays for this drug, or also send the drug name as well. Okay. Then your large language model or chat GPT convert this query into the embedding. Let's call it as query embedding. And then this query embedding is searched in the vector database. And then it gives you the response according to the similarity index. Okay. So this is how your retrieval augmented generation works in the way of context learning. And that's how you will get the responses from the ChatGPT or any kind of large language model. Okay. So the longer the context length, the more chunks we can squeeze into the context. And the more information the model has access to, the better its response will be. Right? But that's not always correct, because how much context a model can use and how efficiently that model will use it are two different questions. Because you can provide a context in some way, but you are not like trying to give it all the context in some way. Like if I just say that I want you get the best restaurant in Delhi with the classic theme, it has a very decent context, Delhi or classic. But if I say I want to have a best restaurant in Delhi with the classic theme, with that kind of songs, with that kind of music, with that kind of restaurant, that kind of food. So I am just overwhelming my large language model with contexts. So that's not how it works for all large language models, because some large language model will have the context length threshold as well. You can't give more context to a certain threshold. Okay. So that's why in parallel with the effort to increase the model context length is the effort to make the context more efficient as well. Okay. So that's where your prompt engineering or prompt constructions takes place. Okay. So every time in the future, if you want to build a prompt, so make sure you can build a efficient context in that as well. And make sure your context should not be as long with the overwhelming information. It should be the precise and the concise as well. So that's the secret that is behind the prompt engineering, and you can be the best in it if you practice it more with a ChatGPT or any kind of large language model. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel, and comment your questions in the chat box, and I will happy to answer and connect with you guys. Thank you guys. We'll meet in our next video.